All right, what's up, guys? My name is Zach, and before we get into this podcast, I wanted to sort of give you guys a little bit of a background about the podcast. First of all, I hope everyone's quarantine is going well. This was actually filmed before quarantine even started. I don't even think Corona was really too much on our minds even at that point. So this is actually an older episode. It was filmed over a month ago, and I was planning on doing a whole month of these podcasts talking to blue-collar workers about their professions because I think it's important for kids and anyone to know that there are other lanes besides just going to a 4-year school. Now, I did go to a 4-year school and I enjoyed it and I think it was right for me, but I don't think it's right for everyone. And so I invited my friend Ethan on the podcast to talk about the trucking industry, what it is to be a semi driver, sort of what goes into it. I personally had a lot of questions for him that I didn't know the answer to. And so I think it's really, really interesting. If you are, trying to figure out what you want to do in life, I highly suggest listening to this and just enjoying the podcast. We also talk about some cars. I've reviewed a couple of Ethan's cars in the past. We've been good friends for a couple of years now, and so we, of course, reminisce about that. But this was filmed pre-corona, so I did not break a quarantine, and we weren't wearing masks or anything quite yet. So I just want to get that out of the way. But I hope you guys enjoy the podcast. Take care, guys.
So, welcome to the podcast, Ethan.
Hello.
Do you remember how we met, first of all? Because I do not, I'll be fair. It's been, 6 years? 6, 7 years?
Yeah, I think so. I'm just trying to think. I think it was probably just a car meet.
Probably, something like... You had the red truck. No, I think it was before the red truck.
Jeep or an Eclipse.
I remember the Eclipse.
Yeah,
I have a video of you, real curly hair, doing a half burnout
Really?
in this 3G Eclipse.
I need to see that then.
It was the same day we took your brother's Blue XJ, Blue Bay, behind the Kmart. This is like the most high school sentence ever. We took your brother's Jeep behind the Kmart, and he like flexed up on the loading dock.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the first video I have. That must have been 2013 or 14 maybe. Probably 14.
No, 11. Or yeah, it was 14.
Because I got my license in 2013. But
I had to be on them. That's when I got my license as well.
You had a car before you had a license.
I had a shitbox before I had a license.
What was it?
Well, I traded my ATV for a K10 that had bad frame rust and it was all bent frame. And then I sold it a week later.
I didn't even know you had a K10.
And then I had a Grand Cherokee ZJ.
I remember that it was white, right? Yeah, okay,
white,
I remember that.
Half bedlined. And then I was on like a 4.5-inch lift on 33s, but like the previous owner welded the diffs. And
why would you do that in an off-road car?
for off-roading. Powered both sides.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Huh. Yeah, I must have met you in between that time. But thanks for coming on the show. I've been wanting to do like a blue collar series, and you're sort of my guinea pig here. So if you want to just explain kind of what you do for a living right now.
I am a truck driver. I'm in LTL final mile business. Our company takes the freight from either an airline or a line haul company, and we disperse it. We do home deliveries, business deliveries, and some medical equipment.
So it's all, you're not like driving for Amazon Prime, right?
No.
It's all like sort of business to business?
Most of the time. And then sometimes there's the to home deliveries too.
Okay.
That's like residential.
So I have so many questions because I feel like a lot of people have told me, like, oh, if you like driving, you should be a trucker. And it's mostly people that don't know anything about anything. It's just like they know one thing about me that I enjoy driving. Mm. So, like, walk me through if I was... Okay, if I came up to you, I want to get into your line of work.
Yeah.
What sort of steps do I have to take in order to do so?
I hate driving a car now. I
really?
I mean, I still do it. I'm driving the truck like when I'm in Kentucky.
Yeah.
So we opened a new warehouse in Kentucky, and I've been down there for a couple months getting it opened, living in a hotel. So I've been daily driving a semi back and forth to the hotel So it's like I come here and drive
Yeah.
a car and it feels weird. But you have to just figure out how to really know the size of the vehicle you're in.
Okay.
Because every inch counts. Be a good commercial. Because you'll never know how much room you actually have until you hit something.
Right. So, like, what's the process of, like, if I wanted to get a job with your company? Like, do you have to... I assume you have to get a CDL,
You
right?
have to get a CDL. First, you have to make sure your driving record's clear. And you have to get a permit. And you have to have everything like, you have to have a certain amount of hours. You have to take a state test, driving test.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like a general knowledge. You have to do an air brakes test. If you
Okay.
wanted to do, like a straight truck driving job, like another commercial license. For a C license, you don't need air brakes. For a B license, that's a straight truck with air brakes.
Mm-hmm.
You'd need a air brakes license, but A is the only one that's the semi truck.
So, by air brakes, I know that, like, the air brake system on a truck.
Yeah.
Is that normally associated with, like, a larger size truck? Is that why there's a different regulation? Or is using...
heavier? Yeah,
it's heavier? Okay.
Larger size trucks, heavier trucks still have
Okay.
air brakes.
Okay. And how do air brakes work? I mean, like, is it a separate system, or...
It's a compressor. It fills up, and then there's still like lines. Think of like a. It's hard to explain, but it like expands. But like the air travels faster than hydraulic fluid, so that's why they use it.
So I assume you could send it all the way back at the
Yeah.
press of a pedal, as opposed
It
to...
stops it faster.
Yeah,
and
okay.
Put more pressure there.
Interesting. So once you have your certifications, do you have to buy a truck, or do you have to...
You don't have to. I work for a company. I don't own my own truck. They have all the trucks, but at first you're gonna like, especially being young, you're gonna need to work at a kind of entry-level company because it's hard to get insurance. It's hard to get covered on another company's insurance. Which is like a young age, no experience.
Right, yeah.
Even when you're a little older.
Even renting a car at our age
Yeah,
is so
exactly.
hard to do. I can't imagine them giving you a semi.
Yeah, you need to go or like the bigger companies like Swift and like Werner. They have their own insurance.
Okay.
Because I don't think Werner does, but I know Swift does.
So you have your own insurance.
No, the company uses like a regular business insurance, but like a company like
Okay.
Swift
has
has their own insurance.
Okay. That's nice. Okay. So then you could apply after that once you have like the certifications and
Experience,
everything.
you find the company you like. There's so many different routes you can go. You can flatbed, you can do a refrigerated, a tanker.
Have you done anything else, or have you
No,
been
I just
strictly...
so what ours is called is drive-in, the trailers where there's no refrigerator, there's no container.
It's just
a
when you
regular
think of a
trailer.
semi,
Yep.
that's yeah.
Average trailer.
Okay.
And I do a lot of city driving. I take the semi to downtown Chicago.
How's that?
I went there today. I went to Wrigley Field today.
Really?
Yeah, it's like I said, you gotta know your size because they're not like the Uber drivers and taxi drivers are in the city. They're not gonna give you any room.
Oh no! Driving the G6 through downtown Chicago it's horrible.
It's tight.
Yeah, it's tight.
But yeah, I've had to go to Lower Wacker, go to Navy Pier.
Okay.
Sometimes
You know what I've always wondered? Do semi drivers have a different GPS than I do?
A lot of the time, like the big company-wide trucks.
Yeah.
They have truck GPSs.
So it'll tell you like roads you can't go on.
Yeah,
and
it'll have like height restrictions, weight restrictions.
Okay.
If anyone's watching this, there's a good free app called Truck Map, and you can put in your truck's height, length, and it'll put you where you need to be.
I've always wondered that because like downtown Aurora, there's one corner. It's what is it? It's New York and some other road. That's like it's a super tight corner, and it's on my way home. And a truck was down there one time trying to make that turn, and he was making like everyone move.
Yep.
And so I just always wondered if like he just thought it would be quicker or like.
Sometimes they don't. They just look it up on their phone. They don't
Yeah.
look at. But the truck GPS are expensive. They're like $400 or $500.
Oh jeez, yeah.
So it's like.
If you think of that per truck, I mean that's.
But even like the companies that don't provide them and think you just buy them yourself.
Yeah.
That gets expensive. Then you're paying $400 out of pocket.
Right. That's interesting. What did you say? Truck map?
Truck Map
Truck map?
Yep.
Okay.
works.
I might download it just for fun, just to see.
It'll probably make you take a little bit longer way to get where you need to go, but I don't know. It hasn't led me astray yet.
Okay. Interesting. So what about highway weighing and like mileage and things? Like, do you have to keep a logbook?
So, a lot of the times you do, but my company is a 150-mile radius.
Okay.
So, we're exempt for that because
You only operate within a certain
150 miles. Yep.
even to Kentucky.
When I drive to
Okay.
Kentucky, I have to do I have to do a paper logbook.
Okay.
And you mark where you stop or where you start, what time it is, when you stop for fuel or something like that, just in case you get pulled over by a state trooper because they want to check everything.
Why is that? Why? Because I've always heard that state troopers will like nail you for your logbook, but like
Just to keep track of it,
Okay.
because people, I mean, you can only legally drive, I think it's 14 hours a day in a semi or
Oh,
a commercial
wow.
vehicle.
Okay.
So they keep track of that if you're going over it,
Yeah.
because people try and get more mile as far as they can.
Yeah, I mean, I guess more miles, more money usually,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Okay. And so what about like do you ever have to deal with weigh stations or no?
When you're on the highway, you do, or sometimes like the state troopers will set up like little checkpoints, and they'll like bring portable scales. I haven't gotten stopped at one before, but I've gone. When they'll just have an open or closed sign on the highway. It'll say weigh station
Okay,
open
yeah.
or closed. You go if it's open, you just go in there like 10 miles an hour. You'll see a bunch of trucks just doing it, just skating over their scale, and if it's all a green check mark, and then if you get the red X,
Overweight?
they'll either just stop you based on how your truck looks, if
Yeah.
you're like a lights out or something, or if you're overweight, they'll
Okay.
X you up.
So if it's because I just came back from Kentucky this last weekend. I drove by a ton of them. They're all closed.
Mhm.
So if they're closed, you just don't have to worry about it.
Nope.
But if they're open, you have to go.
Yep.
Okay. Interesting.
Like the big fleet trucks I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Some of them are pre-weighed,
Okay.
and they'll have like a little second I-pass looking thing.
Okay.
And I know this is in Illinois. I don't know about other states.
Yeah.
But they'll like be pre-approved, or they'll just like since if the thing goes green or red,
Okay.
if it's green, you can just go by.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
So they just like scan it, and you're just like it's
Well,
kinda like open.
you're just cruising the highway.
Yeah.
You don't have to pull over to the
Okay.
other side.
Huh. So what about your routes? Do you clock into work and they're like, "Hey, you're going to Kentucky today?" Or is it like do you get to kind of choose? Can you like reject a route?
I don't. When I go to Kentucky, I go for the week. I don't just like go
Right.
back and forth. But when I get to work, I just clock in like a regular job. You're supposed to check on your truck, make sure everything looks good.
Yeah.
I know she's fine.
Yeah, yeah.
You go to your dispatcher. He'll tell you what you have to do. LTL is really fast paced.
Okay.
So
What does that stand for, by the way?
less than truckload.
Okay.
So you can I'll go to a place and I'll have like a full 53-foot trailer,
Right.
and I'll have an empty 53-foot trailer, and I'll pick up like 2 or 3 pallets. Doesn't take up no space.
Does that determine your pay as well? Like,
No, I'm paid hourly. In
Okay, okay.
So
You don't care if it's a
I
full
don't
load,
care,
empty
full-
load, you're
nope.
driving. Okay.
I'm driving. Sometimes they're dedicated LTL routes, so you'll
Okay.
go to same businesses every day, just pick up a couple pieces here and there.
Yeah.
So one of my coworkers do, but I'm always just everywhere. They'll
Okay.
send me everywhere. But yeah, you can have like 3 or 4 stops a day. You're gonna have like 15.
Okay. And so so you have no control when you besides Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
when you like are doing routes and stuff, are you home for dinner every night? Like is it kind of like a 9 to 5? Like are you at least home every night, or is it like hey, we might send you to Indiana you're just going to stay one night and come back? Is it that sort of thing?
That's all. It all vary. Well, not my company. My company, you're home every night.
Okay.
You don't have to. Usually, like we have night like a second shift drivers. So
Okay.
usually you don't have to stay too late, but they don't have that many semi drivers. So
Okay.
sometimes you'll have to like get things after like 6 or 7.
Yeah, stay late, but it's not like usually overnight.
No, you're not
stuff.
overnight. No, never overnight.
And then, so when you do go to Kentucky, it's like all like in area stuff.
It's all 150-mile radius there too. I'm doing the same thing there. I'm doing here.
Okay. So then,
I'm recruiting drivers, and I'm working in the warehouse as well.
How are you recruiting drivers?
I just go to other places and just talk to them.
Oh, okay.
That's
You're
right.
not setting up tables at high schools.
No.
You remember the military recruiters that come to the high school? Hey, how many pull-ups can you do? You get a T-shirt or a keychain.
Just stare at us. No, it's all been word of mouth. I just go there
Okay.
and start talking to them and sweet talk them in. And I don't know, I guess.
Yeah.
I've gotten 4 people.
Mm.
Pretty.
I mean, how long have you been doing it? It hasn't been super long.
No, it's been like 6 weeks, but
Okay.
you know, it takes a little time to make sure they're covered and everything.
Yeah.
But no, they're working for us down there now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they're really cool guys.
So I've always also been curious, like, do you drive the same truck every day, or is it like, what, hey, truck 5 is available, or truck 6 is available,
A lot of the guys up at the warehouse in Chicago or in Elk Grove Village, they have, or we're all assigned trucks.
Okay.
Me and the other semi driver in Kentucky, we just switch around.
Okay.
But for the straight truck drivers, we have a bunch of straight trucks, so they just hop in and drive.
Okay. Is there like like I always remember as a kid going out to like the go-kart tracks, like number 5 is like a slow like POS. Is there like a truck where you're like hey, you're on 6 today, and you're like you know, like
the new, well, we lease them through a company.
Oh,
so
okay.
A lot of them are the straight trucks we lease, so a lot of them are all governed to 65. And there's one we have that goes like 67.
Ooh,
just one truck, and
the
that's
super
always,
leggera.
that's always like the good one to go. But all the semis we have are all like the old ones. I don't know if you've ever seen the pictures of them.
I've seen the green one you've shown me.
Yeah, it's I think it's like an early 2000s truck, but there's no
Okay.
governor on it. It's a 10-speed, so I'm like
Manual?
yeah,
Okay.
so I'm able to just cruise everywhere, passing everybody.
Do you have a splitter?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a 5-to-5. So it's
Okay.
reverse top left, and then 1 bottom left, and flip it, and 6 and 10.
Okay. Interesting.
It's weird to get used to at first, you know, because you're starting off
Yeah.
opposite. Because reverse is never really up top left.
Yeah, our it's not here right now, but we have the 31 Ford Model A,
Yeah.
and it's up and left is reverse,
Mhm.
and every once in a while I'll be sitting in traffic and put it up in there, and then luckily that thing is
Yeah,
dirt
so-
slow, so I start letting it out, and I'm going backwards, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird feeling.
So then, when you switch it, does reverse become 6th?
No, reverse is still in the same spot. Then
And
there's
then,
a high
so
and,
it's-
there's a high and low reverse.
Oh, okay. So then
6 is
6
1.
is 1.
Yep,
Okay,
and then
interesting.
Same way,
And it's the same H pattern you would find.
Yep.
Okay.
but you just don't go to reverse.
So
No race, no race gear on the tracks.
That'd be real bad. So, like, what's obviously size is different in the trucks. Like, what other things are like different from a car to a truck?
Well, with the air brakes and how heavy you are, it's not the same stopping distance, which is
Yeah.
what everyone tells you. Don't cut off trucks.
Yeah,
You know, that gap they leave you there is
it's all
that's their cushion. Yeah.
I always feel horrible when I get over and I'm like, oh, I'm kind of like in that truck zone.
Yeah.
I always try to get out of it
You
as
gotta-
much as
you-
possible.
As long as you have like that momentum,
Yeah.
like, you look like you're going somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not as big of a deal. Like I know some like truckers like hate letting people over for no reason.
Yeah.
But,
So.
but also with the turning, there's no turning. The turning radius sucks. So
Oh yeah.
basically, if you see a semi trying to make like a right turn, he starts to turn the wheel when his like shoulders are even with the curb. So
Okay.
the front half is already past.
Right.
Is already past the curb.
Right.
So you have to think how tight that is. They need all of that room to
Yeah.
bring the trailer too, and the back tires lead where the trailer goes.
The back tire. Oh, okay.
So it was like if
Right.
that cuts it, then the trailer's going right that way.
Interesting. But if the back wheels don't cut it, then you're probably
Yeah.
fine. Interesting. I never thought that they. I just. Yeah.
That's where the kingpin of the trailer is right there
Okay.
on the back tires.
Yeah. Was it pivot point or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have like? I've always wondered. Also, do you have like cruise control?
Yeah, they have cruise
Okay.
control.
You have cruise control.
A lot of
Okay.
them, the newer ones, they have adaptive cruise control.
Oh wow.
So they can tell you the speed of the car in front of you, and it'll
Yeah.
measure how the brake how far it'll take you to stop from there,
Interesting.
and then it'll
Wow.
slow you down and stuff. And they're
I
really
didn't realize they
sensitive.
had radar cruise control.
Mhm.
I
if you see like the brand new trucks, they have like a big pack on the front.
Okay.
Under, like what their license plate would be.
Yeah.
It's a big.
Interesting.
Mhm.
So I'm wondering for that system, it'd probably have to know what kind of load you have, right?
I think it just tells
kind of gives you a cushion. Okay.
how fast they're going, how fast you're going.
I assume probably not your truck because what did you say? It was early 2000s.
That one doesn't. But we started to lease some new semis, so those ones have it.
Okay.
But the straight
what
trucks
about
all have
like
it.
cameras? Do you have any cameras or no?
The company I worked for before had a front and back facing camera.
That's nice.
No, I mean, no, like backup cameras or you?
Yeah, like backup cameras and stuff like that.
No backup cameras.
Oh, nothing.
Like that. Well, at the last place I worked for, they had some older trucks, but some of them had backup cameras.
Okay.
But no, usually not in trailers or anything like that.
So what were you talking about? The inboard cameras?
Yeah, they have in-cab cameras where there's like a front-facing camera and a back-facing camera.
For insurance reasons. Because I always see those videos online, the truck drive.
It's like right in his face.
Or like, it's always like the crash videos too. And then they're like, oh, just like go around it or something. And
no, those are always recording.
Right.
And if you make the vehicle jerk, if you slam on the brakes, if you stop fast, take off fast, it records that like 8 seconds previous and like 8 seconds after.
Okay. Interesting. So it kind of catches that.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the new like body cameras they have for the police like do like the 8 seconds before or whatever too. So I've always been fascinated by this, and it's just, like, so when you start off, is there like a union, or are you just kind of you're your own guy?
Yeah, you're on your own guy. You're your own guy. There's union like FedEx, UPS. I don't know FedEx, but UPS is a union.
Okay.
They pay really well for truck driving.
Yeah.
Garbage companies pay their union. And there's a couple other.
So you could,
it's
you kind of could be okay. You just personally aren't.
Yeah,
Okay.
my company isn't.
Okay.
Our company.
My whole big thing, and like the kind of the reason I wanted to do this like blue collar sort of podcast series is I feel like when we were in high school, because we went to rival high schools, but we pretty much had the same experience.
Yeah, it's all the same.
I feel like no one told us about any of this. And like no one told me at least about any blue collar job, which is kind of where the money is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm about to graduate with a journalism degree, and everyone's like, what are you doing after that? And I'm like, I don't know. I might be a receptionist. I don't know. I kind of spent 4 years doing, I don't know what. And I'm not bashing, 4-year degrees or anything like that, but I'm interested to see if what your feelings are.
We were kind of taught by our autos teacher about union. I don't know if you...
See, you guys had a way better autos program.
Yeah.
I wish I could have transferred high schools for your auto program. Because our auto teacher, God bless his soul, well, we had 2 of them. We, like, switched. It was more like we just learned about the car and kind of went home. You guys did, like, welding, and you guys, like, learned how to, like, machine things. And ours was like, hey, here's this Ford Escort that barely runs. Like, tell me how many spark plugs it has.
Yeah, our teacher, he had a ton of projects for us to always do. But he had companies come in, tradespeople come in. He would push it. It was kind of cool to see.
Yeah.
But he was in charge of the autos program. He was in charge of the woodworking. So, he was a hands-on guy himself.
Yeah.
But
which I think now he has a machine shop, right?
I think he's in charge of I heard he was in charge of the autos program for like Aurora High School.
Someone told me he like actually has like a machine shopper now or something. I can't remember.
I'm not sure, but yeah, trades it's just like a trade school is usually, well, mine was 6 weeks.
So you did go to like a school?
Yeah, I went, College of DuPage had a truck driving school.
Oh, wow, okay.
At the Addison location.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't even know they did that.
It's 4 to 6 weeks. Took me 4 weeks.
Nice, congrats.
But yeah, it's 4 to 6 weeks. They had recruiters come in. Companies wanted to hire you right out of school.
And I assume you pay for the school, or
yeah,
is
you
it
pay for the school.
Okay.
You can get grants and stuff for it. You just look at scholarships
sure,
and stuff. But pay for the school. A lot of the companies will, or not a lot of companies, or a good amount of the companies will reimburse you. They'll give you a sign-on bonus.
Okay. What time of year did you go to the school?
I went in like February.
Okay, so it was just like randomly almost.
Yeah, they have it year-round.
Okay, you could just sign up for like...
They do monthly.
Okay.
Some companies will hire you without a CDL and train you themselves.
Okay.
They'll fly you out or you'll go to their driving school, hotel.
A CDL is also a commercial driver's license. I don't know if we said
Yeah,
that before.
sorry.
No, you're good. It's just I realize that a lot of my viewers are slightly younger, and that's another reason I wanted to do this series of like, before you pick a college, like you have options.
Yeah.
And like there's other things to do besides college.
Definitely.
So I think that's really important. So you said 4 to 6 weeks. You finished it in 4 weeks because you're the Rain Man, and so why was it just based off tests, or like why that variation?
You get your hours, the amount of hours you need,
Yeah.
like just like a regular driver's license when you were getting yours as a kid.
Which I think everyone lied about.
Yeah. So you go for a nice 2 hours today.
I made up a grandma that I had that lived an hour and a half away, and I went there once a week. So
Get them hours in. But then you just have to do the test.
okay.
You have to do the driving test.
So is it actually like in classroom? Like, is it a guy with a model and he's like, "This is how you turn," and like stuff like that, or is it like?
Yeah, you're hands on.
Okay.
You're hands on learning. They kind of just throw you in there. They ease into it. Like first, I mean, my dad's been a truck driver since the '80s, so I've gone with him multiple times and he taught me a lot.
Yeah.
But they teach you how to shift. They'll teach you how to just go straight forward, straight backwards, just shifting. Just
Are you
basic
in
stuff.
truck at this?
You're
Okay.
just in truck. You're just going back and forth. That'll be like a day's lesson, and then
Okay.
it's just baby steps.
How hard was it for you to get a hang of it? I mean, obviously you had driven manual
Being
before
an automotive, it's a whole different type of manual.
that. Okay.
Just, double clutching or floating gears.
Right.
You can't shift as fast in a truck.
Yeah.
Not at first. With double clutching, you can't shift as you would a car. The truck takes longer to
For double clutching, are you pumping the clutch?
So
or are you...
on a truck, I was gonna pick you up. I was gonna ask if you want to go for a ride today because I was going to Rory. I was like, let me see if Zach
I would love
wants
to go for a ride someday.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do like a bonus portion of this as we go for a ride.
Yeah.
I would love to.
But so in the semi, the clutch is really high up. Like,
Okay. Oh wow.
Up, not like that. I was just trying to show
Yeah.
the camera, but your knees up there. This is
Yeah.
like the starting point, and you're only.
Okay.
That's all you're really doing. You're
Yeah.
not going all the way back down. I mean, when you're going to start, you
Yeah.
go down, but that's where that's where it releases, and that's where it rides out.
Okay.
You just do that, and it's just baby steps they teach you.
Yeah.
They don't just throw you out and make you drive around. the
When we
city.
get it back, I'll take you for a ride in the Model A because we have to double clutch,
double-
and it's straight cut gears.
Yeah.
So you're floating second to third usually. So I'm curious to see how close they are.
You gonna see if I can do it?
Yeah.
Just knock it
Yeah,
out
yeah.
really easy.
Yeah. I'm interested. So
It's fun to do. I love just when you figure out how to drive like a 10 speed and you can float gears fast.
yeah.
It's a blast to drive.
So what about? Because when I first learned how to drive stick,
Mm-hmm.
hills were a big issue for
Yeah.
me. Are hills still a big
If you just gotta figure out how to ride the clutch.
Yeah.
That's like what if you want to become a good stick driver.
Right.
Riding the clutch is how to become a good stick driver.
Right, but would you say it's different, like, with so many more thousands of
No,
pounds
because you have
behind
so
you?
much more power. I
Oh,
can
okay,
be
yeah.
decently loaded. You just ride the clutch out, and then if you have your foot on the brake, you can feel it start to pull,
Okay.
and it won't stall out. It won't do anything like that, like a car
Because
would.
they're big diesel engines, right?
Mhm.
Do you know what engine's in them, or?
They vary. Cat engines, Cummins engines.
But they're, like diesel V8s, or
No,
V10s?
they're not in V's. They're usually like a
Oh, like an inline 6?
straight, some straight thing. There's some
Weird, okay.
yeah.
I always thought that I've never really seen,
they're
a
just-
semi
they're
taken
just big,
apart.
Like a big block. I mean, it's cool it's so much nicer to see than like a car because the pieces are so much bigger
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
everything's
It's like
not,
Legos versus Duplos.
right. Exactly. Everything's like right there. Like you're not thinking, is that part? Is that it?
Yeah.
It's just like big.
So what's the typical mileage you'll find on trucks? Like, are they really like high mileage beasts, or are those a little bit less? Because I always thought like every truck I saw had like 1,000,000 miles on it. Like,
I think a couple of ours are in like the 400s,
okay,
500s, nothing crazy.
and that's like pretty.
That's pretty average.
Okay,
Yeah, I think they're starting to like replace them though.
okay, around like 400 or 500.
Yeah, I mean but you can do rebuilds on them, overhauls, and, like rebuild all the differentials and
Yeah.
Be a good truck.
Do you just? I assume you'd have to take it to a semi-specialist to get all that done. I'm sure there's
A lot of guys do them themselves.
really.
It's just so big. It's not as hard.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, like the big repairs they'll do, like they'll take there. But a lot of the small stuff, like the small company owners, like the single truck owners, they'll do it themselves.
Okay.
Saving expenses.
And so have you had like any mechanical? Have you had like a tire detread or anything like that yet? I mean, knock on wood, wherever that is.
Knock on wood, no, I have not. My coworker actually just had a flat tire today he had in Kentucky. Like one of the trucks we usually switch off on. He got a flat tire on that today.
I assume you're not getting out with a tire iron and a spare. You call someone.
Yeah, and they usually. Well, it's nice because you don't have to take it off the truck. Usually, you can just if it's like an outside tire, you have these two long tongs and kind of like finesse the tire off.
Oh, and then just put a new tire on.
Yep, just air it up.
Wow.
No bad.
I've never seen that happen.
It's kind of cool,
Yeah.
They just have like these big long like tongs and they're like a Mongolian grill, and they're just like putting it around. I go to Mongolian grill. I'm like, damn, they could probably
probably do the tires real good.
Yeah.
So they just come. I guess. How would you lift up the? I mean, assume you'd have to lift up the tire. No.
They make these like strong hydraulic jacks or air compressor jacks, and they'll just since the truck has the air compressor, like they'll make So let me first explain this. The air line connects from the truck to the trailer of these two things. They're called glad hands.
Okay.
Like these two like circles, and you kind of like slide them together, and they're locked like this.
Okay.
But you can take it off, and they make like these air hose kits, and you just put the air hose thing back on there, and you have like a wand you can fill up your tires.
Okay.
But you can do that with it. It's called coupling the truck, like coupling.
Yeah.
But if you can couple the jack to that and lift it up.
Okay. Huh. Interesting. Yeah, all like the airlines and stuff, and like so much stuff is like
You gotta come see one up close and just like
yeah, I'd love to.
just walk around and be like, okay, it doesn't like you don't really think about it until you're like because I always think about this with like cargo planes. Because ever since I always go to the airport now,
Yeah.
I'm like, these planes are fucking huge. Like I knew the planes were huge.
Yeah, but you never think of like
no, these planes are holding cars.
Yeah.
Like others. I'm like, these planes are fucking huge.
and for me, I always think of like, or I always forget to think about like, there's like you see this giant tube, and then you have to think of all the wires, all of the bolts, all of the small little fuel lines, air lines. I mean, because I was just on a plane last week, and they were doing the oxygen thing. They're like, oh, and I'm like, oh, there has to be an oxygen tank somewhere, enough for like 160 people.
For like a decent amount of time.
For a good amount of time, and then they have to run lines throughout all. And then I started like slightly panicking because I was on Spirit Airlines, and I was like, I was like, what are the odds that my oxygen line just has a kink in it, or just like
they didn't wire it up. They're like, oh, no, I don't need these.
they used zero gauge wire for the oxygen tank.
That's like people don't check their stuff. People
Yeah.
just let it go through.
So what is like a proper pre-drive check for you?
So when you get your license, you have to do it's called a pre-trip test. Check. You go literally from the front of the truck to the back of the truck.
Okay.
Making sure everything on the grill is all good, like the lights aren't damaged, working.
So no damage. I assume. Do you have to check tire PSI?
You get it's called a tire. A lot of guys have what's called a tire bat, and they'll just smack the tire if it sounds hard. It's got air in it. It's like yeah.
Oh man.
Cruising, but then you go under the hood, check the fluids, make sure nothing's ripped. So like this is actually you have to, like if you're going in depth like to get your license, you have to talk about make sure the suspension's not cracked. Make sure the brake lines aren't cracked or there's no oil or something on the brakes. Tires aren't balding or because tires they do the retreads.
Yeah, is that legal or no?
Yeah, it's legal.
That is illegal for trucks. Okay.
Yeah, on like the trailer tires.
Oh, okay.
I think not on the skid tire or not on the steer tires.
Okay.
Like the steering.
Mm-hmm.
The drive tires you can retread. I think.
Interesting. Okay.
But then you go from there. You do your mirrors, your windows, and you go inside, do your brakes, your air pressure, make sure it all builds up, make sure there's no lights in the dash.
And is that I mean, it's supposed to be every single drive, or is that okay?
Every single morning.
Okay, you're
You
supposed
start
to
your day.
kind of do your pre-flight check or whatever.
Yep. Make
Okay.
sure. I always just do lights and fluids.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the essentials.
Yeah, just make sure you're good for that day.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a good driver, you know about cars, you'll know a difference in the braking or.
Yeah, I mean, you'll kind of feel if the tires going or something.
You'll hear the exhaust or something's going like loose or something.
Yeah. Do you have to worry about DEF?
My the trucks that I drive are, pretty.
Pre-DEF.
It's EGR.
Oh, okay.
Exhaust gas.
So you don't have to worry
DEF,
about it.
nothing.
Okay.
Or not in those ones, but the newer ones that we lease, those have DEF.
Okay, and that's just a tank you fill up.
That's
it's
for
just
like
an extra
exhaust
fluid,
gases
right? Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just thinking about it because they're bringing a diesel CX-5 to the States that'll have DEF. And so we have our 2018.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a second hole next to.
It's ready for it.
Yeah, but it's just like there's a piece of plastic under it. So like I was always curious about that.
It's gonna mess people up. They're gonna put if they have to actually go. A lot of people are idiots and they put diesel in it.
Oh,
And
that's gonna be rough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been working at the Ford dealership I worked at, and people would come in there and have diesel in there, or vice versa. And
what is DEF? DEF is blue, right?
It's diesel exhaust fluid.
Right, but the cap is blue, right? Yeah,
Yep.
okay. So then the diesel screen and yeah.
But when you
if you're colorblind,
yeah,
Hope you can read.
pump's really small. It's like really narrow.
Oh, really?
It's a little. I mean, they make sure you like don't be an idiot. Look how small this
Yeah,
is. We made this so small for you. Don't put this the wrong one.
I would have loved if they made it like a square shape or like
Just
a
like a
star
key or something. But like if you go to like a big like a nice truck stop like
Yeah.
a lot of them have because you have two fuel tanks on both sides.
Right.
And then they'll have like a DEF right in the same one. You can just plug your grill up.
So does your truck have 2 fuel tanks?
A couple of them do.
Okay.
The one I usually drive does not.
How big is that tank?
I think it's a 50 gallon or 70. It's either 50 or 75.
Jeez.
Yeah,
I mean, how long are you sitting there to fill it?
They're pretty fast, but it's like a 10-minute job. But a lot of the dumbass drivers, they'll do that, and then they'll go park just in front of it. And you're kind of like, because they're all lines. You know, you can't just like parallel park and get gas.
Yeah.
You gotta wait in line, and they'll just go inside after that. And if you finish after them, you're just stuck there.
That's horrible.
It's like a big problem with all these truckers. They'll just leave the leave the truck there.
Yeah.
Waste time.
Yeah.
And block fuel pumps.
So.
But stop blocking the fucking diesel pumps.
Yeah. PSA: stop blocking diesel pumps. So when you get to a place and you're gonna pick up or even drop off, you know, whole load, half load, whatever. Are you getting out of the truck and helping lift, or are you just you're just the driver?
So I do a lot of the different things. I'm different. I do a lot of different things. A lot of the guys in our company, or a lot of the truck drivers, a lot of truck driving is just you don't unload.
Okay.
If they'll tell you if you have to unload when you get the job.
Yeah.
And
okay.
It's like you either do it or you don't.
Yeah. Okay.
I guess I do it, but usually it's just you back up into a dock with what I do. You verify, taking these couple pieces off.
Yeah.
Make sure the paperwork matches the numbers.
Oh, wow, okay.
And then they sign for it and you're off to the next one.
Okay. And so I assume there would normally be people waiting there ready for it? Or, just, go in and be like, find Tim. Tim has to get the 2 people to...
No, usually a lot of the warehouses you'll go to, they'll have they're usually like a dock workers waiting at the dock ready.
Yeah.
But when you do a business delivery, when you're doing the delivery part for the final mile part, not the LTL.
Yeah.
That's when you'll have to that's when you're kind of on a goose chase because we are doing it for we're working for companies that get us the stuff.
Right.
We don't book these loads or we don't find these customers.
Yeah.
So we're going off their paperwork and their notes, and if the phone number call, and we have to call the company. They gave it to us.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're just stuck sitting there.
So, how hard is it? How long did it take at least you? We know you're a prodigy with the truck, but to actually back up into those docks, because I've seen about 1,000 videos online of just botched jobs, and I don't know if that's common or not.
We have a way overpacked lot at our work. it's way easier to back in from your left side compared to your right side. So you kind of
It's easier on the left?
yeah, because you have more. You can see
Okay.
more.
Okay,
If
yeah,
you're
yeah.
on the right
Okay.
side, it's called the blind side.
Yeah.
You can't really see your mirror. But our work is super tight. Um, there's cars in front of you, there's cars left of you, and then there's trucks behind you.
Yeah.
So practicing that really tight, it kind of, I think I felt comfortable in like 2 weeks.
Okay.
But I mean, when you're going to the CDL school, they're not teaching you how to back into docks.
Really?
They're just you don't back up into a dock. You're just driving around, and you have to do like a skills course, like you have to do a parallel park and then like an offset backup.
You have to parallel park?
Yeah.
Do you ever have to do that
Um,
driving or no?
when you want to park at like a fuel station or at a warehouse.
I guess, yeah. I guess you're not parking it downtown
Well, I guess
Chicago.
in our work, yeah, it's pretty tight. So sometimes like
You
I
have to get like 18
today.
parking meters.
But,
Okay. Interesting. So, right now, obviously, you drive the truck.
mhm.
Is there like something higher? Like, are you like, when you're 10 years there, you're going to be like a senior truck driver? Or like a...
A lot of companies, if you're like an older truck driver, if you've been there, they'll offer you if you want to be like a trainer or
Okay.
a recruiter.
Are there like better routes that they give to like...
Well, yeah, if you
higher-
know, like seniority, they'll
Okay,
give you
yeah.
like a nice, easy. We have this one older gentleman at our work who's in at 7:30, off at 3:30. You know, he's got the nice,
Yeah.
easy pickups. He's got the dedicated pickups. He knows where he's
Okay,
going
yeah,
every
yeah.
day.
So that's kind of something to
You just,
aspire
like, yeah.
to, I guess.
I mean,
Because other than that, you're just driving.
yeah, you can. I mean, some people you buy your own truck. They look
Okay.
forward to that.
Could you buy your own truck and then work at your same company?
You
So like
yeah.
the current one that you're
So
at?
yeah, that's like you could be like a subcontractor. That's what people do.
Okay, yeah.
And they'll get paid based on loads or by the mile, how far they travel.
Trucks are really expensive though. Correct me
Yeah.
if I'm wrong.
No, there's a lot of expenses.
Like
Insurance is crazy
100?
expensive.
To get, if I was
you
like,
can
hey,
buy an
Volvo, I
entry-level-
want one.
Well, if you buy like a 2020, but
Yeah.
you can buy like a 2000 to 2010 for like 8 to like 10, 20 grand.
Really?
Yeah, if you want to like the cheaper side, the cheaper side of trucks.
Right, yeah. But you
But,
for 20 grand, really?
All of our trucks, I think, are under like 12, maybe even 10. And
Why are diesel pickup trucks holding their value so dang much
those fucking
then?
bros, truck bros.
Like freaking 15-year-old Silverados with Duramaxes, they're like 15 solid firm.
Don't lowball me.
I know what I have.
Yeah, I don't know. The trailers aren't too bad either. The trailers are like 10 to 20, but most of the time you don't really. You
I
can
was
use
gonna
other
s-
companies.
Yeah. I feel like you'd just be taking a trailer to a place, pick up a different trailer.
That's some jobs.
Okay.
It's everything varies.
Yeah, it's
It's
probably
like
very different.
Yeah, you can go so many different ways, so many different routes. You can own a truck, just drive other companies' trailers.
Could
Could-
you go essentially the rest of your life without buying a truck?
Yeah.
Is that very
Oh yeah.
okay?
Well, like companies like with UPS or like bigger companies,
Yeah.
they have retirement plans. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
You're in a big union, you retire at
Right.
55. Done. You
Yeah.
just chill.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean the UPS guys, they're making like it depends where you're located, but a lot of them are in like 40 something an hour range,
Okay.
and they're working.
You said you're hourly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so, do you get overtime or no?
Oh yeah, overtime. Some companies are after 40, mine's after 45.
I was gonna. Throughout this whole series that I'm gonna do of blue collar workers, I don't think there's one word that sparks more joy than overtime.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like overtime. Ooh, that's the sauce right there.
Oh yeah, it's
Is it usually time and a half, and then after a certain time it's double, or
it's varies. Sometimes they're time and a half, some are overtime, some are just bonuses.
okay?
Like at the company I worked for before, it was more delivery based. It was you'd have to deliver to gas stations and convenience stores, and it sucked.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You had to go ghetto. You had to go horrible, like not fun places.
Yeah, not good spots.
Yeah, you're delivering cigarettes, like candy and drinks, and all that shit. And people know you're in those trucks with cigarettes.
Yeah, yeah. I assume that would sort of be like a
As the entry level,
Yeah.
build up your experience.
right. Okay, but it's not like I always just thought like, oh, you could get by without your own truck for like 10 years, but then like
Some
in the
people
big
think that
leagues.
some people think you have to get in like I mean, you could make a lot of money driving hourly.
Okay.
You put in the hours, but
Yeah.
there's so much. I mean, people think, oh, I'm gonna buy this one truck and I'm gonna get rich off it.
Yeah.
I think the only way to make money in truck driving is you have to own a couple trucks and have people drive them.
Okay.
That's what I would do.
Yeah. Is
I
that
would-
something you would like to do in the future?
I don't know.
Okay.
I still have so many different like. I don't know what.
Ideas
Yeah, I
and
don't want.
things,
I don't know
yeah.
what I want to do yet. That's why I'm just. This is why I'm working now, putting the money aside, just something.
Yeah. It's smart. I mean, it's super smart. So tell me a little bit about when you go to Kentucky and you're doing it. I assume it's mirrored to like
Yeah, it's just
how
same
it
thing
is
here,
here.
but just it's Kentucky's a lot slower paced.
Yeah. I mean,
Um,
they got so many biscuits and gravy in them.
Yeah,
I mean,
all the
just
Waffle
the
House.
whole. I mean,
Um,
Lexington as a whole was just slow. I mean,
it's weird. Everyone
I
moves
love
at a
them down
they move
there,
at a
but-
different pace.
it's
They
the whole. It's different.
the drivers suck.
Really.
You can see, I always post on my Snapchat a bunch of crashed cars. I mean, I don't know if you didn't notice. There's a ton of cars just sitting on the side of the road. You never saw those?
I was in and out
Yeah.
in 3 days. I drove down
there's
there, went
cars
to Zac
parked
Brown
of-
Band, and I came back. You know, that was the most American thing I think I've said in a while. But wait, get this: Zac Brown Band for their encore, they went off. They played "Chicken Fried" first of all, which is like the song of all songs.
Yeah.
They went off. They came back. You know what song they played?
What's on?
They had a guy rap an Eminem's song. And then they played a Metallica song, Enter Sandman.
The Zac Brown Band played
Yeah,
that?
Zac Brown Band played Eminem.
Well, but they had someone else. They had some random guy from the crowd singing it, or
No, it was one of their openers came out to sing "Lose Yourself" by Eminem.
Oh, yeah.
They like started doing the dun dun dun, and we're like looking at each other like,
That was going
"There's
on
no way Zac Brown Band is about to do this." So, getting back to this, sorry, I just had to share that story with someone because I thought it was the weirdest thing in the world.
I like, I like when bands sing like other band songs or like.
And then they played "Enter Sandman" by Metallica,
Hell yeah.
and then the RESPCT that song, and then they went out, and I'm like,
they're like, yeah, see? Usually when people come for encores, they're like, oh yeah, band song. But I
Yeah.
like when they do like just a random song. And it's, like,
that's
it's
what they
kinda
did. You would love Zac Brown Band then. So when you're down in Kentucky, you said it's a lot of hotel living. Are you just off the same hours and then you just go do whatever? Just go to Louisville which I recently learned is Louisville, not
No,
Louisville.
it's Louisville.
Louisville. They
Louisville.
just like
It's-
roll it all
Yeah, I
together.
always call it Louisville. I'm like, this is right here in Louisville. What do you mean?
Oh man.
It's not far. But you're truck driving. You can start at 5 o'clock one day, 9 o'clock the next day. You can get off at 5 o'clock one day, off at 9 o'clock the next day.
But you had just regular off time to just
You can do whatever.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I tried to do a little bit more. I went to a dance class. I went to a
Really?
dance class down there.
How was that? What kind of dance?
It was a 2-step.
Really?
It was a little-
Did they pair you up with some rando?
You just rotate partners.
Oh, interesting.
A little swinger party. But yeah, I did that. We've just been going to random restaurants and bars. Just
I love this idea of just like touristy Ethan.
I know, I'm
like
just-
every time you
just
go
trying
down to
do something
Kentucky,
fun. Just like, hey.
the museums and all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool things down there. I just you're just working all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, you're putting money away, but
yeah.
find something to do.
Is there a monetary advantage to going down to Kentucky? Are they paying you more, or is it just like kind of get out of the house, do something?
It's all of that.
Okay.
I got a raise and stuff
Okay.
working there, and I mean, it's kind of a slow season up in Chicago
Yeah.
for that, and there's a lot of drivers. So,
Oh, okay. So we're almost like too many drivers here, or just at least in your company,
In
or
this, well, not in the company. Like it's a slow season. It's like not
Okay.
slow season, but it's like not peak season.
well, everything's so cold. No one
Yeah,
wants to do it.
but well, I mean, it's really nice up until like
you have
after
heated
Christmas.
seats?
Some trucks do, not me.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't even have AC.
You don't have AC?
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
You have cruise control before AC?
Yeah. I guess I would say cruise control over AC. It's
Interesting. Okay.
funky.
So are you getting ready to get that burnt arm out the window?
Burnt arms, sweat out the window. Yeah. One of the trucks has a little like the school bus thing. You pop the thing, it's just like a little sunroof.
Oh, really?
So yeah, and like it's a single cab, so the wind goes right down your back.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever driven a sleeper cab?
No. I've like moved my dad's truck around before.
Okay, and
Back
that's
when
a
he had
sleeper?
yeah. But I always do like the little single cab. Like actually,
Okay.
well, I got my license in a sleeper. I forgot.
Okay.
That's what they teach you in.
Are sleepers generally nicer trucks, or is it just like
It's
it's just a truck that happens to have a sleeper?
yeah, it's
Okay.
a truck that happens to have a sleeper.
Okay.
And a lot of the guys like if the bigger companies will give you either a brand new one or like a close to brand new one when you first start with them,
Okay.
and then or they'll give you like the previous guy's brand new one, and it's like some beat to shit box. Because they're
Okay.
all these fucking guys are slobs.
Yeah. Is there like do you know of any spots right now that like I don't just out of the top of my head like Portland needs truck drivers right now? Do you know of any of that, or is it just sort of like
I mean, it's never gonna die. The industry's
Yeah.
always gonna be there.
yeah,
There's a lot of people are coming in from out of country,
yeah,
and they're buying their own trucks, and they're starting their life, and they're making money. There's always gonna be a need for drivers everywhere.
yeah?
But we're hiring in Louisville.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're down in Lowell,
Louisville.
So another question. On the highway, when there's two trucks behind each other, and that one gets over and does about a mile an hour faster than the other one,
Yep.
are you thinking in your head like I'm gonna pass this dude, or are
No,
you just like
I'm thinking this is fucking so slow. I'm pissed because that's me in that truck, and I have to drive like one of the governed trucks. They
Yeah.
only go 65 or 66. That's me. I'm like, damn, I wish I was in my fast truck. I'm going so slow right
Yeah.
now. I see, like, you're looking at all those cars behind you, and you're like, God damn it, what's going on?
so you do feel bad?
Yeah, I feel bad. I'm like, come on. But I mean, I don't want to be stuck behind this guy either.
Yeah, that's true. Because oh man, coming back from Kentucky, two trucks
Like
going like 65, and I'm like,
I mean, but it sucks to be because like sometimes you'll just be like, you'll make some progress on them, and out of nowhere you'll just feel like
oh man,
they'll start passing you, and you're like, there goes that.
it's like Battleship or
Yeah,
whatever.
and
Just like,
then you get like all those cars behind you pissed at you, and you have to get back over behind them.
ugh. Are you do you have a CB radio?
I got one, but I didn't put it in yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
need to put it in there.
So I'm interested also in like, is there like a kind of like a trucker culture? Like, do you like go to like certain gas stops and kind of like recognize people, or like do you have like this sort of like appreciation for another trucker?
Some of the dedicated companies I'll go to in Kentucky, I'll say hi to the drivers. I'll ask them because a lot of us will go to the same places,
Okay.
and we'll see each other. We're always
Yeah.
friendly and nice to each other. But I don't know, I'm in some trucker Facebook groups. I'm in the trucker Reddit group, and then it's just like like those guys, it's a lot of the over the road guys.
Yeah.
They're just lonely guys out on the road.
Yeah. Would you ever want? So I assume that means like multiple day
Yeah,
excursions.
Yeah, gone for a week in the truck. Different town every night.
I don't know if I could do that.
No,
And
it's-
you don't
I
aspire
would
to.
never
Yeah.
know. I mean, people think that's the only way to make money, and they're like, you can make money in trucking a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do the crappy work as experience at first,
Right.
because the companies that'll send you far will hire you right away.
Right. Okay. So like, it's probably easier to get a job doing those long hauls,
definitely.
right? Okay. 100%.
100%.
Okay. Interesting. What about? So like? For you, how hard would it be to like switch category of truck? Like if you're like, I hate box trucks, I want to drive a flatbed now.
Flatbed's pretty easy. All you have to do is really just tarp it. So that's like physical work, because those
Right.
are massive tarps, 100-pound tarp, and you have to
Right. Yeah.
And that's you're either. I mean, sometimes you're just open bed, and that's just securing the load,
Okay.
because that's on you.
Yeah.
A lot of times the company it's either you're putting it on there, or the company's you're signing off for them putting it on
Okay.
there. But a lot of companies want you to have to really work anywhere. It's 2 years experience. You have to be like either 23 or 25.
Okay.
That's how you can go anywhere. You
Yeah,
can jump
okay.
anywhere in truck driving.
So, like, is there anything you would want to switch to, like a smaller box truck, or like
Um,
I don't know, like I don't know if that's
I,
like
I I like what I'm in. I'm fast paced. I like
okay,
going a couple different places, doing a couple different things a day.
yeah,
I can like bump. It's called bumping docks. You know, you just sit in the truck doing that all day. I can do
yeah,
that. But I like doing. Sometimes I like doing home deliveries, or sometimes we'll do. It's called a white glove, where you like install like a cabinet or something.
oh, okay,
You know, we'll just
like at a location,
yeah, at someone's
okay,
house or something.
okay,
That's kind of fun to do.
yeah,
We do medical equipment. We'll do like a DNA sequencer or some like big like
wow,
expensive
okay,
thing. We'll take it down to like the going to a couple of different universities, like University of Iowa.
okay,
And you just go there. You take it out of this big ass crate.
yeah,
You lift it up and like install it for them.
okay,
Because it's like it's it's like $1 million
yeah,
machine.
yeah,
You
yeah,
need to like take pictures of it
Yeah.
as you go,
yeah,
just to make sure it works and everything.
interesting,
It's kind of crazy, but like, those are like the fun things to do.
yeah. So 2 closing thoughts. First of all, I just want your advice for anyone looking to getting into trucks.
Mm-hmm.
What would you tell them? You know, an 18-year-old in high school, he says, "Hey, I think I want to do this line of." What would you tell him to sort of make that happen?
Well, when you're 18, you just gotta make sure you have a clean record. Just think you want to go into there
Just driving or like
clean driving.
total-
No, clean driving record.
Okay.
You don't need a clean record.
Okay.
I mean, you can just like no DUIs.
Okay.
No.
Because if
no,
you get a DUI right now, you're
Yeah.
out of a job, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
it's really tight on that.
Yeah.
You just want to make sure you have a clean record. Figure out what you want to do in the industry, because you can, like I said, you can go over the road. You can be home every night. Just figure out.
Find routes that fit your lifestyle.
Yeah, figuring out what would fit your lifestyle. You can start overnight. You can do a morning.
Yeah. And then, for everyone else just on the road, being human beings, being a truck driver, knowing what it takes to drive a truck, I'm in the car behind you on the highway. What are some things you want to tell, like, regular drivers? Like, your PSA, if you had a megaphone in traffic, what are you telling them?
They're not like a lot of times people won't let truck drivers over, or like trucks over in like a tight spot, or it's just you're just making more traffic.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're trying to like pass you or beat you or like slow you down. It's like they have to get over too.
Yeah.
But it's just give them their space. If you're behind a truck and you can't see their mirrors, they
Yeah.
can't see you. Don't hang out at their back tires. They're like the back trailer
okay,
tires.
yeah.
I don't know why. Whenever I'm trying to pass somebody, or if someone's trying to pass me, they'll just stop and just sit right back there, and it'll be like the slowest. I don't know why. It's just like you're barely behind me and I can't get by you.
Yeah. I always, even to this day, I always get freaked out being next to trucks. I hate driving next to them. So I feel like right there is where I'm like, am I going to drop back or am I going to floor it? But I
Yeah.
usually do one of the two. I usually don't hang out.
But you have to think like when if a truck needs to get over, they have to slow down.
Right.
They don't have the power just to floor and get by you.
Right.
So if they're going slow, they're not trying to
Right.
slow down traffic. They have to get over.
Yeah.
But just give them their space, leave them their stopping distance.
Yeah.
And if you're ever in like if you see like a truck that needs to turn in the right lane and you're in like a left turn lane,
Yeah.
just always like be like a little bit behind the line, just so they have that room to like. Because when I take you for a ride, it'll feel weird because you'll think we're gonna hit the car in the turn lane. It swings like.
Okay.
Because it's really like in the tight turns, it's like it's
Yeah.
close.
Okay. Yeah, I'm totally down. I'm very excited for our ride. Just let me know. My school just got canceled for the next 3 weeks, 4 weeks, so I'm free.
You ready to ride?
I'm ready to ride. We'll make a video about
Sweet.
it. Yeah. Well, thanks for coming on the podcast. I hope that sort of helped anyone looking for more information.
If anyone is curious or wants to go for a ride, you can always reach out to me, and I'll answer any questions or take you for a spin.
Yeah. No, that'd be great.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming on.
Sweet.